Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in one of the most extraordinary periods in human history. Technology is evolving faster than ever before. Artificial intelligence can write, create, speak, and learn. It can help businesses grow, solve complex problems, and unlock opportunities that previous generations could only dream about. But with every powerful tool comes a powerful responsibility as we step deeper into 2026. One of the greatest challenges facing our world is not just cybercrime, it is deception on a scale never seen before. It is the rise of deepfakes. Think about it. For generations, seeing was believing. If you watched a video, you trusted your eyes. If you heard a voice recording, you trusted your ears. Evidence was evidence. Reality was reality. Today, that foundation is being tested. A person can appear in a video saying words they never spoke. A leader can be shown making decisions they never made. A family member can call you with a voice that sounds completely real, yet it is generated by artificial intelligence. The line between truth and fabrication is becoming thinner every day. This is not merely a technology problem. It is a human problem. It challenges trust, confidence, and security. It affects businesses, governments, families, and individuals. Imagine receiving a video from your company's CEO requesting an urgent financial transfer. Imagine a student seeing a fake video that damages their reputation. Imagine an entire community reacting to misinformation that spreads faster than facts can catch up. The consequences are real and the stakes are higher than ever. But history teaches us something important. Every major challenge humanity has faced has also created an opportunity for growth. When new threats emerge, human innovation rises to meet them. The fight against deepfakes is not about fear. It is about awareness, preparation, and action. The people who thrive in this new era will not be those who panic. They will be those who adapt. Cybersecurity in 2026 is no longer just about firewalls, passwords, and antivirus software. It is about protecting trust itself. Organizations are investing in advanced detection systems powered by artificial intelligence. These systems analyze facial movements, voice patterns, digital fingerprints, and metadata to identify manipulated content. Experts are building tools that can verify authenticity in seconds. Governments are developing regulations to combat malicious use of synthetic media. Companies are creating authentication systems that help distinguish genuine communication from digital deception, yet technology alone will never be enough. The strongest defense has always been an educated and alert human being. Every individual must become more aware of the information they consume. We must learn to pause before sharing content. We must verify before believing. We must ask critical questions. Where did this information come from? Can it be confirmed by multiple sources? Does it seem designed to provoke an emotional reaction? These habits are becoming essential survival skills in the digital age. The challenge of deepfakes also reminds us of the incredible value of integrity. In a world where images can be manipulated and voices can be cloned, authenticity becomes more valuable than ever. People who build credibility, maintain transparency, and earn trust will stand out. Businesses that prioritize security and ethical practices will gain confidence from customers. Leaders who communicate openly and consistently will strengthen their influence. Trust is becoming one of the most valuable currencies of the 21st century. Young people entering the workforce today have a unique opportunity. They are growing up in an environment where digital literacy is just as important as traditional literacy. Understanding cybersecurity is no longer reserved for technical experts. It is becoming a life skill. Knowing how to protect personal data, recognize manipulation, and verify information can determine success in education, careers, and relationships. The future belongs to those who are prepared to navigate both the opportunities and the risks of a connected world. What makes this moment remarkable is that the same technology creating deepfakes is also helping us fight them. Artificial intelligence is being used to detect fraudulent content faster than humans ever could. Researchers around the world are collaborating to develop stronger verification methods. Innovation is not standing still. The battle is constantly evolving, and so are the solutions. This is a race between deception and detection, and every advancement in security strengthens our ability to protect the truth. The greatest lesson of cybersecurity in 2026 is that resilience matters more than fear. Threats will continue to evolve. New forms of deception will emerge. Criminals will look for new opportunities, but human creativity, determination, and collaboration are powerful forces. Throughout history, people have overcome challenges that seemed impossible at the time. The digital age is no different. Every person listening today has a role to play. Whether you are a student, entrepreneur, employee, leader, or parent, your awareness contributes to a safer digital world. Every secure password, every verified source, every informed decision, and every moment of critical thinking strengthens the defenses of our society. Cybersecurity is not just the responsibility of experts. It is a shared responsibility that connects us all. As we move forward into this new era, remember that technology itself is neither the hero nor the villain. It is a tool. The future will be shaped by how we choose to use it. The fight against deepfakes is ultimately a fight for truth, trust, and human connection. And when informed, committed people come together with purpose, even the most sophisticated challenges can be overcome. We are living in a time when technology is advancing at a pace that previous generations could hardly imagine. Every year brings innovations that make our lives more connected, more efficient, and more convenient. Artificial intelligence can now write articles, create artwork, compose music, and even hold conversations that sound remarkably human. These developments have opened doors to incredible opportunities in education, healthcare, business, and communication. Yet alongside these breakthroughs comes a challenge that is rapidly becoming one of the defining issues of our digital age, the rise of deepfakes. Not long ago, people relied on visual and audio evidence as one of the strongest forms of proof. A video recording was considered trustworthy because it captured what happened. A voice recording was accepted as genuine because it represented someone's actual words. Society built a foundation of trust around what could be seen and heard. Today, that foundation is being tested by technology capable of creating highly realistic but completely fabricated content. Deepfakes are artificial intelligence-generated videos, images, or audio recordings designed to imitate real people. What makes them so powerful is their ability to look and sound authentic. A deepfake can show a person speaking words they never said, expressing emotions they never felt, or participating in events that never occurred. To an untrained eye, the difference between reality and fabrication can be almost impossible to detect. The technology has become so sophisticated that even experts sometimes require specialized tools to identify manipulated content. The rise of deepfakes is not simply a technological trend. It represents a fundamental shift in how information is created and consumed. Every day, billions of people interact with digital content through social media, news platforms, messaging applications, and video sharing websites. Information travels faster than ever before. A single piece of content can reach millions of people within hours. When that content is fake but appears real, the consequences can be significant. One of the reasons deepfakes have grown so rapidly is that the tools required to create them are becoming increasingly accessible. What once required advanced technical expertise and expensive resources can now be achieved using software available to ordinary users. As artificial intelligence models continue to improve, creating convincing fake videos or audio recordings becomes easier, faster, and more affordable. This democratization of technology has many benefits, but it also creates opportunities for misuse. The challenge extends beyond technology itself because deepfakes exploit something deeply human: trust. People naturally believe what they see and hear. When a convincing video appears online, emotions often react before logic has time to evaluate the information. Surprise, fear, anger, excitement, or outrage can spread quickly. Deepfakes take advantage of these emotional responses, making misinformation more persuasive and more difficult to challenge. Businesses, governments, public figures, and ordinary individuals are all vulnerable. A fake video can damage reputations, influence public opinion, disrupt organizations, or create confusion during critical moments. Even when a deepfake is eventually exposed, the damage may already be done because information often spreads faster than corrections. This creates a world where truth must compete with increasingly convincing digital illusions. As we move deeper into 2026, understanding the rise of deepfakes is no longer optional. It is becoming an essential part of digital literacy. The challenge is not merely about technology creating fake content. It is about a society learning to navigate a new reality where seeing is no longer always believing, and where awareness has become one of the most important forms of protection in the digital world. Trust is one of the most valuable assets in any society. It is the invisible force that allows people to work together, build relationships, conduct business, and create strong communities. Every conversation, transaction, and decision depends on a certain level of confidence that the information being shared is genuine. Deepfake technology threatens this foundation in a way that few other innovations have. It does not merely create false content, it creates doubt about what is real and what is not. In a world where trust becomes uncertain, the consequences can affect every aspect of society. One of the greatest dangers of deepfakes is their ability to spread misinformation with unprecedented realism. Traditional fake content often contained obvious signs of manipulation. Poor editing, unnatural visuals, or inconsistent details could reveal the deception. Deepfakes, however, use advanced artificial intelligence to create videos and audio recordings that closely mimic real people. The result is content that appears authentic even when it is completely fabricated. This makes false information more convincing and more likely to be believed. The impact on public trust can be enormous. Imagine a situation where a respected leader appears in a video making controversial statements. Before experts have an opportunity to verify the footage, millions of people may have already viewed, shared, and reacted to it. Opinions can change. Emotions can intensify, and communities can become divided based on information that was never true. Even after the deception is exposed, the initial impression often remains in people's minds. The correction rarely spreads as quickly as the original falsehood. Organizations face significant risks as well. Businesses rely heavily on trust to maintain relationships with customers, investors, and employees. A deepfake video involving a company executive could create panic, damage a brand's reputation, or influence financial markets. Criminals are increasingly using AI-generated voices to impersonate executives and request urgent financial transactions. Employees who believe they are responding to a legitimate authority figure may unknowingly transfer funds or share sensitive information. What makes these attacks particularly dangerous is that they target human psychology rather than technical vulnerabilities. Individuals are not immune to these threats. Deepfakes can be used to damage personal reputations, spread false accusations, or manipulate relationships. A person may find their image or voice used in fabricated content without their knowledge or consent. The emotional and psychological effects can be severe. Victims often experience embarrassment, stress, anxiety, and a sense of helplessness as they attempt to prove that the content is fake. In some cases, the damage to personal and professional relationships can persist long after the truth emerges. National security is another area where deepfakes present serious concerns. Governments around the world recognize the potential for manipulated content to influence elections, create political instability, or provoke social unrest. A convincing deepfake released during a sensitive event could trigger confusion and uncertainty at a critical moment. When citizens begin to question the authenticity of information, confidence in institutions can weaken. This erosion of trust can become a threat in itself because stable societies depend on reliable communication and credible information sources. Perhaps the most troubling consequence is the broader culture of skepticism that deepfakes create. As people become aware that realistic fake content exists, they may begin doubting genuine evidence as well. Authentic videos, recordings, and photographs can be dismissed as fabricated, creating a situation where truth itself becomes harder to establish. This phenomenon weakens accountability because real evidence can be questioned simply by claiming it as a deepfake. The result is a world where uncertainty grows and confidence in facts becomes increasingly fragile. Deepfakes challenge not only cybersecurity systems, but also the social bonds that hold communities together. They target the trust that people place in information institutions and one another, making the fight against digital deception one of the most important challenges of our time. For many years, cybersecurity was primarily focused on protecting computers, networks, and data from unauthorized access. Organizations invested heavily in firewalls, antivirus software, encryption technologies, and password protection systems. The goal was clear: keep cybercriminals out and protect valuable information from being stolen or damaged. While these traditional security measures remain essential, the cybersecurity landscape of 2026 has evolved dramatically. The threats facing individuals and organizations today are more sophisticated, more intelligent, and more focused on manipulating human behavior than ever before. The rise of artificial intelligence has transformed both the opportunities and challenges within cybersecurity. Modern cybercriminals are no longer relying solely on technical attacks. Instead, they are using AI-powered tools to create highly personalized scams, convincing phishing emails, realistic voice impersonations, and sophisticated deepfakes. These attacks often bypass traditional security systems because they do not target software vulnerabilities alone. They target trust, emotions, and human decision-making. As a result, cybersecurity must evolve beyond simply protecting devices and networks. It must also protect the integrity of communication and the authenticity of information. In 2026, cybersecurity is becoming a discipline that combines technology, psychology, and digital intelligence. Security professionals are increasingly focused on verifying not just who accesses a system, but also whether the information being shared is genuine. The question is no longer only, is this network secure? It is also, can this communication be trusted? This shift represents one of the most significant transformations in the history of cybersecurity. Organizations are now implementing advanced identity verification systems to ensure that individuals are truly who they claim to be. Multi-factor authentication has become a standard practice, requiring users to provide multiple forms of verification before accessing sensitive information. Biometric technologies such as facial recognition, fingerprint scanning, and voice authentication are becoming more common. These systems add additional layers of security and make it more difficult for criminals to impersonate legitimate users. Artificial intelligence itself has become one of the most powerful tools in modern cybersecurity. Security systems can now analyze massive amounts of data in real time, identifying unusual patterns and detecting threats before they cause significant damage. AI-powered detection tools can examine videos, images, and audio recordings for subtle signs of manipulation, tiny inconsistencies in facial expressions, unnatural voice patterns, and hidden digital artifacts can reveal the presence of deepfakes that might fool human observers. What once required hours of expert analysis can now be accomplished within seconds through automated systems. The concept of cybersecurity has also expanded to include digital literacy and employee education. Companies recognize that technology alone cannot stop every threat. Human awareness remains a critical line of defense. Employees are being trained to recognize suspicious communications, verify unusual requests, and question information that appears designed to provoke immediate action. This emphasis on education reflects an important reality. The strongest cybersecurity strategy combines advanced technology with informed and vigilant people. Governments and international organizations are also adapting to this new environment. New regulations are being developed to address the misuse of artificial intelligence and synthetic media. Cooperation between technology companies, cybersecurity experts, law enforcement agencies, and policymakers is increasing. The goal is to create standards and frameworks that promote innovation while reducing the risks associated with emerging technologies. As threats continue to evolve, cybersecurity is no longer simply about protecting data from theft. It is about safeguarding trust, preserving authenticity, and ensuring that people can confidently navigate an increasingly digital world. The future of cybersecurity lies not only in stronger defenses, but also in the ability to distinguish truth from deception in an age where artificial intelligence can make the fake appear remarkably real. In a world where information travels across the globe within seconds, the ability to think critically has become one of the most valuable skills a person can possess. Technology has made knowledge more accessible than at any other point in history. With a few taps on a screen, people can access news, opinions, videos, research, and social media content from virtually anywhere in the world. While this unprecedented access creates countless opportunities for learning and connection, it also creates new challenges. The rise of deepfakes, misinformation, and AI-generated content means that simply consuming information is no longer enough. People must learn how to evaluate it, question it, and verify it. Digital awareness and critical thinking are becoming essential tools for navigating the modern world. One of the greatest advantages of technology is speed, but speed can also be a weakness. Information spreads so rapidly that people often react before they have time to analyze what they are seeing. A shocking video, an emotional story, or a controversial statement can trigger immediate responses. Fear, anger, excitement, and outrage can motivate people to share content instantly. Unfortunately, deepfake creators and cybercriminals understand this human tendency. They design content specifically to provoke emotional reactions because emotions often override careful judgment. Digital awareness begins with recognizing that not everything online is what it appears to be. A convincing video is no longer automatic proof of reality. A familiar voice recording is not necessarily authentic. Even images that look completely genuine can be generated or manipulated using artificial intelligence. This does not mean people should become paranoid or distrust everything they encounter. Instead, it means adopting a mindset of healthy skepticism. Asking simple questions before accepting information can prevent many mistakes. Where did this content originate? Can it be verified through multiple reliable sources? Is there evidence supporting the claim? These questions encourage thoughtful evaluation rather than automatic acceptance. Critical thinking involves looking beyond appearances and examining the facts. It requires individuals to separate evidence from assumptions and logic from emotion. When people encounter information that strongly reinforces their existing beliefs, they are often more likely to accept it without question. This psychological tendency, known as confirmation bias, can make deepfakes and misinformation particularly effective. Critical thinkers understand that personal beliefs should never replace careful examination of evidence. They are willing to challenge their own assumptions and consider alternative perspectives. Education plays a crucial role in developing digital awareness. Schools, universities, businesses, and communities are increasingly recognizing the importance of teaching digital literacy. People need practical skills that help them identify manipulated content, recognize online scams, and evaluate the credibility of information sources. Understanding how artificial intelligence works, how social media algorithms influence content visibility, and how misinformation spreads can significantly improve a person's ability to navigate digital environments safely. Another important aspect of digital awareness is understanding the value of personal responsibility. Every individual who shares information online becomes part of a larger communication network. A single post can reach hundreds or even thousands of people. When individuals take time to verify information before sharing it, they help reduce the spread of false content. Small actions performed consistently by millions of people can create a significant positive impact on the overall quality of information available online. The future will belong to those who can adapt to an increasingly complex information environment. Technology will continue to evolve, and artificial intelligence will become even more sophisticated. New forms of digital deception will emerge, and distinguishing truth from fiction may become even more challenging. In that environment, digital awareness and critical thinking will not simply be useful skills, they will be essential life skills. They empower people to make informed decisions, protect themselves from manipulation, and maintain confidence in a world where information is abundant, but authenticity must often be carefully verified. As technology continues to transform the way people communicate, work, and interact, one quality is becoming more valuable than ever before: authenticity. In a world where artificial intelligence can generate realistic voices, create convincing videos, and produce content that appears entirely genuine, trust has emerged as one of the most important assets an individual or organization can possess. The ability to be perceived as credible, reliable, and transparent is no longer simply a desirable characteristic. In 2026, it has become a critical advantage that influences relationships, reputations, leadership, and success. For generations, trust has served as the foundation of human cooperation. Businesses depend on it to attract customers. Leaders depend on it to inspire confidence. Families depend on it to maintain strong relationships. Communities depend on it to function effectively. Without trust, uncertainty grows, communication becomes difficult, and progress slows. The rise of deepfakes and digital deception has highlighted just how important trust truly is, because people are beginning to recognize that not everything they see or hear can be accepted at face value. Authenticity stands out because it creates confidence in an environment filled with uncertainty. When individuals consistently communicate honestly, follow through on their commitments, and demonstrate integrity through their actions, they build credibility over time. This credibility becomes a powerful asset because people naturally gravitate towards sources they believe they can trust. In an age where misinformation can spread rapidly, trustworthy individuals and organizations become beacons of reliability. For businesses, authenticity has become a major competitive advantage. Consumers today have access to more information than ever before. They can research companies, compare products, read reviews, and evaluate brand behavior within minutes. Customers increasingly support organizations that demonstrate transparency and ethical practices. Businesses that communicate openly, acknowledge mistakes, and prioritize customer trust often build stronger and more loyal relationships. In contrast, organizations that lose credibility may find it difficult to recover, regardless of how strong their products or services may be. Leadership is also being reshaped by the growing importance of trust. People are more likely to follow leaders who are perceived as genuine and consistent. In a digital environment where manipulated content can create confusion and doubt, authentic leadership becomes even more valuable. Leaders who communicate clearly, provide accurate information, and maintain transparency strengthen confidence among employees, customers, and communities. Their credibility acts as a stabilizing force during times of uncertainty. On a personal level, authenticity influences every aspect of life. Professional opportunities, friendships, partnerships, and social connections often depend on trust. Individuals who develop a reputation for honesty and reliability create stronger relationships and open doors to future opportunities. In contrast, those who sacrifice integrity for short-term gains may discover that rebuilding trust is far more difficult than earning it in the first place. The rise of artificial intelligence has also created a growing demand for verification and accountability. Digital signatures, verified identities, blockchain-based authentication systems, and secure communication platforms are becoming more common because people want assurance that information is genuine. These technologies are valuable, but they cannot replace the human qualities that create trust. Technology can help verify authenticity, but integrity remains a personal choice. As society adapts to the challenges of deepfakes and digital manipulation, authenticity will continue to increase in value. Truthful communication, ethical behavior, and transparent actions will distinguish individuals and organizations from those that rely on deception. In a world where artificial intelligence can imitate appearance and voice with remarkable accuracy, genuine character becomes one of the few things that cannot be easily replicated. Trust is no longer merely a social virtue. It is becoming one of the most important currencies of the digital age, shaping success, influence, and meaningful human connection. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look toward the future, one thing is clear: the battle against deepfakes is not simply a technological challenge. It is a challenge of awareness, responsibility, and trust. Artificial intelligence will continue to evolve, bringing remarkable opportunities that can improve our lives in countless ways. However, With that progress comes the responsibility to use technology wisely and to remain vigilant against those who seek to misuse it. The fight against deepfakes reminds us that cybersecurity is no longer just about protecting computers and networks. It is about protecting truth, preserving trust, and safeguarding the integrity of human communication. Every individual has a role to play by developing digital awareness, thinking critically, verifying information, and acting responsibly online. We strengthen the defenses of our communities and contribute to a safer digital world. In an era where technology can imitate faces, voices, and even emotions, authenticity becomes more valuable than ever. The people and organizations that prioritize honesty, transparency, and integrity will earn the trust that others cannot easily replicate. Trust will remain the foundation of strong relationships, successful businesses, and stable societies. The future is not something that happens to us. It is something we create through our choices and actions. If we embrace innovation while staying committed to truth and responsibility, we can ensure that technology serves humanity rather than undermines it. The challenges ahead are real, but so is our ability to overcome them. With knowledge, vigilance, and collective effort, we can build a digital future that is secure, trustworthy, and filled with opportunity for generations to come. Thank you.